Actually, the one that I would remember mostly, or the castor oil for one thing, I guess. I used to have, Mum and Dad used to give us castor oil about once every 2 weeks. That was the go in those days. And would you believe that I even licked the spoon? I loved the stuff. I did. It's true. It is absolutely true. Yes. And I also know, can I go on now to the next one about the kerosene and sugar?
Yeah.
We did have that for sore throats. We did. I can remember having all of that as well. And of course you wouldn't do that today either. Kerosene's not the same, I don't think, as it used to be. The other thing about prickly pear, I know I have tasted the fruit of prickly pear. It's beautiful, but I'd never heard of it being used for, for the cough mixture. No, I'd never heard it for that, but I did love the fruit. It was beautiful. Vinegar, I've never heard of vinegar for hiccup. I thought we had to drink a water from a glass by tipping yourself only upside down. Or for someone to give you a big fright by clapping their hands or something like that. Baits of salve. Now, I really do remember that very well because, you know, I had splinters and things, even though I got a spear grass in my foot. You can say, but I had to have that lanced. It was bad. It was quite bad. It got infected quite badly. But the baits of salve, we used to use that a lot. In fact, I've written here, I think it was even used for boils. And I'll just mention about boils. After the war, Second World War, I had so many boils on my legs. I've still got scars. They were everywhere from the boils. Yeah, and anyway, magnoplasm was used for all of that. Sulphur and honey, yes, of course, that was used. Yeah, and taken orally, that's right. Garlic, I've not heard of that for whooping cough, but no doubt that was one of those remedies that was used in those days and probably very effective. The senna-tea, we all knew about senna-tea as well as castor oil, didn't we? I might put in, can I put in there about the camphor? The camphor, the blocks of camphor for croup. Croup, yes. One of our youngest son, Paul, used to get croup through the night, mainly during winter. It only lasted a year or two, but in a short time really. It was only during the really cold mornings, early mornings. And I used to make up this little bag and put this little square block of camphor in the bag, and he wore that to bed, and he also wore it under his shirt to go to school. And I kept that up for quite some time. We all remember Beck's, a cup of tea and a good lie down, wasn't it? Yes, as it says. And it did help. I don't know whether you can, does anyone know if you can buy Beck's today? I'm not sure. Cod liver oil? Yes, I know it very well. I think I never used it for our children, but I believe people did for various reasons. I think perhaps cod liver oil was used for molasses. I know that's a very cleansing thing, and I know who uses molasses regularly. And Don and I used to take it, but then, you know, as most things, you get tired of these things after a while and you don't do it anymore. But I believe it is very, very good. And what is it taking? Oh, it says 3 times a day. Oh my goodness, once would do me. But yeah, I think some of those things would be excellent remedies. The Reckitt's blue bag, I think I've still got one in our possession here somewhere. It's very old, but for bee stings, don't really remember.
With regard to that Reckitt's blue bag that Naomi mentioned, probably young people today wouldn't know what a Reckitt's blue bag was.
No.
But it used to be a little bag with this blue thing inside of it, about an inch long, I think, and perhaps about an inch in diameter. And women used to put it in their washing to make the sheets and that nice and white. I think that was the idea of it, wasn't it? Yes, but you don't see that today.
And the milk of magnesia. When I was young, I can remember now and again I'd get a tummy upset, and Mum would give me this milk of magnesia, and it was absolutely amazing to soothe the stomach. And back to the Yesteryear. Amazing thing. My brother was the one who heard it from somewhere around the ridges way back in the country in those early days in the 1940s, I suppose. And they said it was excellent for treating diarrhoea. And we actually did use it if we did have those problems, and it did work. It did work. Oh, no, that's right, I've got diphtheria yet.
Yes.
Well, it was about, I would have been about 9, which would have been about 1945, or 46. My mum and I both developed diphtheria. We ended up in the Ipswich Hospital, very sick. I can remember it very well. How, after reading here some of these things about it, it's a wonder we ever pulled through. And Mum would have been 45. That's where we ended up, and having this, our throats is brushed down our throat to get rid of all this white gunk that collected in our throats. I can't remember too much about whether, it was difficult to breathe or to swallow. I really can't remember that now. But I think my main memory of it was the needles, the injections they were giving us in our rump. It was our rump. It was up in the top part, the thigh and the rump area. Absolutely dreadful things. They felt like crowbars. And we ended up black and blue. We really did. It was horrible. The other thing I can't tell you is how long we were in hospital, but I'd say it would have been up to 2 weeks.